Hello and welcome back to our channel. It's good to be back. I'm Millie.
And I'm James.
And today we're locking in our predictions for week 7 of League 1. We said this in our championship video as well, but it was a similar weekend just gone for this League 2, which means we've really got our work cut out for us this week.
That's why we love the EFL. Before we start, let's have a look at the scores from last week, shall we?
If we must.
Okay, so in week 6, I got 7 correct results, which is 14 points. And Millie, you got 3 correct results, giving you a total of 6 points, which means I am the winner.
Congratulations. I'm going to obviously have to dig deep this week. Anyway, should we get on with our predictions?
Yep, let's do it.
Okay, so all of League 1's fixtures this weekend will be played on Saturday the 21st of September. Let's start with the first of two 12:30 kickoffs, which is Exeter versus Stevenage.
Exeter losing 2-1 away to Blackpool, who have just appointed Steve Bruce as their manager. It was a close affair at Bloomfield Road, evenly matched for the most part, but Exeter's poor defending from a throw-in was not dealt with, and CJ Hamilton scored what looked like the winner of the game with 20 minutes gone. Exeter had chances before half-time, but none were converted. Chances from both sides dried up, and it took until the 88th minute for Ed Francis to get what they thought was the all-important equaliser, to get a point out of the game. But heartbreak in the 94th minute saw Blackpool's James Husband score to take all 3 points.
And Stevenage beat Barnsley 3-0 on Saturday to make it their second win of the season. 2 goals in the first 15 minutes of the second half saw Barnsley capitulate. Elliot List with 2 of the goals in the game. He's been known for some big misses so far this season, so this will do him the world of good. That's Barnsley's first loss in 4 games.
I think I'm going to go for a draw here. I'm going to go for Exeter 2, Stevenage 2.
Yep, I'm going for the draw as well, but I'm going to go for Exeter 1, Stevenage 1. The other 12:30 kickoff is Lincoln City versus Wigan Athletic.
Lincoln drew 1-1 away to Peterborough. Ben Howes' third goal of the season gave the Imps the lead after 33 minutes after a well-worked move. Lincoln had to soak up a lot of pressure from Peterborough and finally conceded in the 65th minute to a peach of a goal from the right-hand side. Shot-wise, statistically even, Lincoln did well overall to keep the game at 1-1. That was their first draw of the season and are doing pretty well so far.
And Wigan were 4-0 winners over Bristol Rovers on Saturday. A dominant performance from the Latics saw them gain only their second win of the season. Joe Hugill with a brace, Thello Asgard and Luke Chambers with the other 2 goals completed the drumming. They'll be facing a tougher side in Lincoln next, who will be after their 4th win in 6 games.
See, I think this is going to be a close one, but I'm going to go for a home win. I'm going to say Lincoln 1, Wigan 0.
See, I actually think that Wigan will want to build on their result last weekend, and I think that they're going to get their 2nd win in a row. I'm going to go for Lincoln 1, Wigan Athletic 2. On to our 3 o'clocks now, starting with Bolton Wanderers versus Reading.
Now, Bolton getting spanked 4-0 was a surprise, albeit against Huddersfield, but this was their 4th consecutive loss against the Terriers. Very poor in front of goal with only 5 shots and 1 on target all game. This was a real worry for the Trotters. They seemed to lack any confidence at all. This was their 3rd straight league defeat and 3rd home game without a goal. Something needs to change and fast.
And Reading also on the losing side, but with a 1-0 defeat to bottom side Leyton Orient. Reading enjoyed more of the possession, but were up against a very resolute Orient side who fought extremely hard to keep the Royals at bay. Reading also had to defend well to not lose by more. Overall, a tough game for Reading, and Orient were good value for their win. That was Reading's 2nd loss of the season, and they currently sit smack bang in the middle of the table. This could be a chance for both Bolton and Reading to get back to their winning ways.
I think neither of them will. I'm going to go for Bolton 1, Reading 1.
Well, I actually think someone is going to get back to winning ways. I've gone for Bolton 1, Reading 3. Up next, it's Burton Albion versus Barnsley.
Burton had a good draw away from home to Rotherham on the weekend. Goals from Danilo Orsi and Jack Cooper-Love earned the Brewers a point. Their first goal was against the run of play and shocked the Millers. Burton, however, had to soak up a lot of pressure and eventually caved in, conceding the equaliser in the 39th minute. Then they went behind 12 minutes into the second half after not being able to win the game off pinball in the box from a corner. Burton finally equalised in the 71st minute, which gave them their 4th draw of the campaign. Still no wins.
And Barnsley lost 3-0 to Stevenage away from home, as I mentioned earlier on. This was their second league loss of the season and their first loss in 4 games. Barnsley had plenty of chances to get something from this game, but weren't clinical enough. And some shoddy defending ensured Barnsley took 0 points back to Yorkshire. This was probably an off day for them, and I'm sure they'll be back to winning ways soon. Very soon, actually.
Yes, I think very soon. I'm going to say Burton 0, Barnsley 2.
Yep, and you won't be surprised to hear that I'm going for Burton 1, Barnsley 2. Moving on now to Charlton Athletic versus Blackpool.
Charlton are third after their 1-0 away win to Shrewsbury on Saturday. The Addicts' 49th minute goal was scrappy, but a goal is a goal. They were statistically dominated by Shrewsbury, who fought valiantly to get a goal back, but to no avail. Charlton did well to defend any Shrewsbury advances to hold on to the win. An even tougher test awaits them against the rejuvenated Blackpool side.
Blackpool with their first win of the season and under new boss Steve Bruce against Exeter. CJ Hamilton's 19th minute goal opened the scoring for the Tangerines. After a relatively even match, they held on until the 88th minute when Exeter got one back, but Blackpool captain James Husband scored the winner deep into stoppage time. It was a well-needed result for Blackpool, who have had a very below-par start to the season.
I think this is going to be on as even. I'm going to go for Charlton 1, Blackpool 1.
And I think there's going to be a winner in this game. I'm going for Charlton 2, Blackpool 1. Next up, it's Huddersfield Town versus Northampton Town.
Huddersfield had an emphatic win over Bolton on Saturday with a 4-0 win. Dominated a very poor and hopeless Trotters side who are very much underperforming this season. The complete opposite for Huddersfield. Business as usual for them, and they'll definitely be looking to go on as they mean against Northampton.
Speaking of Northampton, they lost 2-1 to Wycombe at Sixfields on Saturday. They did go 1-0 up within 4 minutes thanks to Sam Hoskins' penalty, but after a quick response from Wycombe, the scores were level after 11 minutes. Northampton allowed Wycombe to press and get the winning goal with 52 minutes gone. Sadler's keeper Lee Burge at fault as he fumbled a cross that dropped perfectly to the feet of Wycombe's Richard Coney to tap the ball into an empty net. Northampton could have conceded more if it wasn't for the poor finishing of the Wycombe forwards. This will be a real test of character against a strong side. Northampton now sit 18th with 1 win to their name.
And I think they will keep that 1 win to their name. I'm going to have to go for Huddersfield 3, Northampton 1.
And I'm going to go for Huddersfield 3, Northampton 0. Now on to Mansfield Town versus Shrewsbury Town.
Mansfield got their second win of the season, all being at home, against the winless Cambridge United. Lee Gregory with 2 goals, making it 4 for this season so far. The second goal was an absolute peach. The game was pretty even, but Mansfield were more clinical and took away the 3 points.
And Shrewsbury, in our opinion, were unlucky to lose against Charlton on the weekend. Statistically, they were the better side overall and came close to the opener after 20 minutes, when Mal Benning crossed the ball to Leo Castledine, whose effort went wide of the back post. Even after going a goal down, they were persistent in their efforts, but could not get the all-important goal that could have given them their first draw of the season at least. If the Shrews lose, this will be their 3rd consecutive defeat, and their 4th away defeat in 4 away matches. Worrying times.
And I'm going to have to go for another loss for Shrewsbury, unfortunately. I'm going to go for Mansfield 2, Shrewsbury 0.
Well, I think I'm going to give Shrewsbury a little bit of grace. I'm going to say Mansfield 2, Shrewsbury 2. I think it's going to be an entertaining game. Up next, we have Peterborough United versus Bristol Rovers.
Peterborough with their first draw of the season against Lincoln. This will come as a relief for the Posh as their previous 2 home games ended in defeat. They did have a bit of deja vu as they went 1-0 down after 33 minutes, but Kwame Poku's sublime equaliser helped calm the nerves. The game was relatively end-to-end after that, with both sides having chances to win the game. A draw was a fair result. If the Posh get a win on Saturday, that will be their first in 4 home matches.
And Rovers were solidly beaten by Wigan 4-0 on the weekend. This was their 3rd defeat this season. They need a positive reaction against Peterborough, who haven't won a home game for 3 games. If they lose, it will be Rovers' 3rd consecutive defeat and 3rd consecutive away defeat. They are both locked on 7 points, with Rovers playing a game more. This will be a tough one.
I'd like to think that Peterborough will score quite a few goals this game, so I'm going to go for Peterborough 4, Bristol Rovers 2.
And I'm going to go for the same result but different score. I'm going to go Peterborough 2, Bristol Rovers 1. Moving swiftly on to Rotherham United versus Birmingham City.
Rotherham with a 2-2 draw at home to Burton. Clark Harris with his second goal of the season and Humphreys opening his account helped secure the Millers their second draw in a row. This is Rotherham's fourth consecutive game where they have conceded. They'll have a tough one against Birmingham, who have scored in all of their games so far and are yet to be defeated.
Moving on to Birmingham, they beat Wrexham comfortably 3-1 at St Andrews to make it their fourth win on the trot. After going 1-0 down in 3 minutes, 2 goals from record signing Jay Stansfield and an absolute stunner from Tomoki Iwata sealed the points for Brum. The only sour note for such a positive game was Christian Billick's bad-tempered red in the 86th minute. Can Birmingham make it 6 matches undefeated?
I think they can. I'm going to go for Rotherham 0, Birmingham 2.
I agree, I think they can too, but I'm going to go for Rotherham 1, Birmingham 2. On to Stockport County versus Leyton Orient now.
Stockport with a 1-1 draw against Crawley. Still undefeated this season, but will want to get back to winning ways very soon. August League One Player of the Month, Louis Barry, with his 5th goal in 6 games for County, gave them an early lead. But a penalty for Crawley saw them draw level. Stockport are up against the Leyton Orient side, who will have their tails up after beating Reading 1-0. They are undefeated at home so far. Could this change?
And Leyton Orient with a fantastic 1-0 win over Reading. A 3rd goal of the season for Charlie Kelman saw Orient finally win at their 5th attempt. It was certainly a hard-earned 3 points, but well deserved. With this result under their belts, they have another tough test away at Edgeley Park. If they win, it would reduce the gap between the two clubs to only 5 points. Can they do it?
I think it's going to be a tough game and a very tight game, but I am going to go for a Stockport win. I'm going to go for Stockport 2, Leyton Orient 1.
And I'm going to go for Stockport 3, Leyton Orient 1. Next we have Wrexham versus Crawley Town.
Top of the table Wrexham with their first defeat of the season after losing 3-1 to Birmingham, who are now level on points with the Welsh side. A tough game against the Blues and only slightly outmatched. Jack Marriott with the only goal for Wrexham. This is their second match where they haven't scored 2 or more goals. Marriott with 4 of them, scoring in every game barring a 0-0 draw to Bolton. They'll surely be confident in resuming their season with a win against Crawley.
Crawley having a bit of a mixed start to the season, starting off well with 2 wins in a row, cancelled out by 2 defeats in a row, and then a 1-1 draw to Stockport. They played well against County and had some good chances to win the game. Positive signs from the Sussex side in getting their mojo back, but a huge test against Wrexham. I can only really see it going one way.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a high scoring game, but I have to go for a Wrexham win. I'm going to say Wrexham 3, Crawley 2.
And I think it's going to be Wrexham 3, Crawley 0. And finally, our last League One fixture is Wycombe Wanderers versus Cambridge United.
Wycombe with their second win of the season against Northampton, who haven't won a game since the 17th of August. Wanderers reacted well after going 1-0 down so early on to eventually grind the result out and take all 3 points. Some good football played by Wycombe, and they'll want to take advantage of Cambridge's dismal record.
Speaking of Cambridge, they are yet to record a win this season. 4 defeats and 1 draw sees them sitting bottom of the pile with 5 games played. Gary Monk's side are in real trouble. If they lose, listen to this, that'll be their 3rd defeat in a row, their 4th away defeat in 4 matches, their 6th match with no win recorded, and their 6th match in a row where they've conceded. Surely this has to change, and soon. But this is going to be difficult against the seasoned Wycombe side.
I've just gone for something mental that's probably not going to happen. But I've gone for Wycombe Wanderers 3, Cambridge United 3.
And I'm going to go for Wycombe 3, Cambridge 0. So that is our League 1 Week 7 predictions officially locked in. Do you agree or disagree with either of us? Tell us your predictions in the comments below, and also tell us who you think will win this week out of me and James.
Before you go, don't forget to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to help us build this great little community.
On that note, thanks for watching. We will see you in our next one for our League 2 predictions. Until then,
See ya.
bye.